Welcome back to D7R TV. Today we've got something a little bit different and it's not car related. Christmas was coming in fast and my lads both asked me for a dirt bike. I was like, well, where's that come from? They said, we just want a dirt bike. And what was strange at the time was they both said it. One's 8 and one's now 10. And they both asked for the same things. They're usually quite flippant with what they want and everything's quite randomly different. But this time was different and they wanted a dirt bike. So we bought them this. We get stuck into this video, we just thought it'd be paramount to add a little cautionary note. Please protect your kids at all times. Make sure they wear the correct PPE, which is the personal protective equipment, a helmet at the very least, especially on a faster bike. We're going on grass. We don't ride through fields or parks and all that jazz. We have permission from the landowner from where we're based, so there's plenty of places which you can ride on. Just make sure you got the landowner's permission and just be cautious. You don't want your bike taken off you by the police for one, because they won't think twice about sticking it in the back of a Vivaro van and you're not seeing it again and it end up being on a police auction, and that's just a waste of time and money. Teach your kids to ride responsible, make sure they listen and make sure they're safe, and that's all I'll add. This is the cheapest mini motocross bike you can buy, and it's a little Chinese unit. There's many different ones, but they're all the same, if you know what I mean. They've got different liveries and stuff on, but this was 300 quid. I wasn't about to go and get a Honda CRF for about 2 grand for them not to like it. My partner Carla, she's tried to get them into horse riding for quite some time now and they're just not that interested. They've stated they wanted a dirt bike, and this is the entry level into getting your kids into maybe motocross or just having some fun across some fields, etc. So what can I tell you about this little motorbike? People have stated that they're quite poorly built, but that field behind me, this little bike will do about 20 mile an hour with me on it, and we've not had no issues. My boys are a bit lazy. They get the bike, it's only a little 49cc as I stated, and they'll just rev it and then wait for the clutch to ride out. But I'm going to be replacing the clutch in this, and the parts for these things are literally pence. We'll say pence. A new clutch, which is stated a racing clutch, which I bought off eBay from China, is 6 quid. Now, all the rest of it, the plastics are about a tenner. If the stickers get damaged, they're about 4 or 5 quid. And if all else fails and the engine blows up, which that hasn't happened yet, even though this bike has had quite a lot of abuse from me and the boys, it's 50 quid off eBay. I mean, everything's like normal nominal sockets and stuff. If you've got a little toolkit, you're more than adequate to figure this out. I mean, the engine just bolts off. It's not really a big undertaking. And I think it's brilliant, and this is just from personal experience. I'm quite happy to tazz around on this thing and have some fun, and it is fun and it's quite fast. It's like many things from China, things are hit and miss, and a friend of mine's got one of these and he started his lads off motocross, and they're quite advanced now but they're quite young, and he said the weld snapped. Me being a welder fabricator, I've looked around the bike and I don't know whether these are hit and miss. I'd imagine that some are different to others, but the welds on it look all right. I'm not going to lie. I'm the first to say if welding's crap on something, but I've not seen anything where I think, I might need to address that, or something scary. So if you're looking for a little motocross bike for your kid, I'd say probably from 3 upwards to about 10. This thing is definitely worth a shout. That's why I'm doing this video. I mean, this is a blast. It really is a blast. Even with me on it, I'm probably between 11 and 12 stone, and the boys probably about 4 or 5 stone. So it's super quick for them, and definitely an entry level. They've got bigger bikes for when they outgrow this one, but for the time being, it's been brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sponsored in any way, and quite frankly, this is just my opinion. Some of you guys may have experience with one of these and have your own opinions, and I'd like to hear that in the comment section. But as I say, like, this has been an absolute blast. Into functions, here you have like a little ignition switch, so you want to click that on. Underneath here, the pull cord, you've got a fuel cut off, then you've got your choke. Up is off, down is on, and then we're going to give it a little pull like so. I'm not going to lie, it's been sat for a little bit, and it has been running for about 5 minutes before this video, but it did take about 5 or 6 good pulls to get it up and running. It isn't the quietest thing in the world, but it's not really obnoxious. It's just a little 2-stroke or sound. Up here, you have an off switch, so your boys or girls, whoever you buy one of these for, they can turn the bike off and be safe. You can wrap this around your wrist, and if they fall off, that'll also cut the bike out. So that's a good little design. All of these are about £2 if you break one of these off. The brake levers are about £6 each. So as I said, these things are super cheap. And once you get them up and running, put the choke back on. They got plenty of get up and go in them as well. I told you they're no slouch. Right then guys, I got the bike up on a little stand, and as I said, we're going to be changing the clutch. The boys have insisted they want to go on it the weekend, so today's a Friday and I want to get it all ready for them. And we're going to be changing the clutch. This is the one we got from eBay. As I said, it was £6, and that's going to be going in. They said this is a race clutch. I've never done this job before, so I'm going to show you how easy it can be if things go to plan. And these are 8mm bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 8mm. I'm just going to undo these. I'm going to see how easy these are to work with. Right, so we took the chain guard off, and I'm not sure how this comes off, but you'll learn with me. That seems to be attached to that somehow with some grease, and there's a bearing. The bearing pops off. Hopefully I don't have to press any of this off, like, because I haven't got a press. going to take this cover off. Hopefully it relieves a little bit of tension. We can see what we've got to work with. Nope, I don't want to come off. That slid forward. Will it walk off? No idea. So this is a good start. So I'm going to have a faff around with this, then I'll let you know how I get on. Right, I tried to do a bit more detective work and I found an Allen key down here, and it's a number 5 Allen key. And this is underneath the chain guard. So hopefully with a bit of luck, this will start to move and give us access to the clutch. This is a slightly different design to the way I've seen online, and I haven't seen any like this, to be fair, so this may be the first one. So hopefully we can get this out of the way and access this clutch behind this. So we need to get this chain off, or at least out of the way. Right, so at the back of this number 5 Allen head bolt, there's a 10mm nut. And if we get this off, might be a bit of a faff to get back on again. But at least we can see if we can get this off and access our clutch. Right, okay. So now we can get this out of the way, get the chain off the back of this chain drive, like so. The clutch don't look too bad, but we'll change it anyway. So this is the back of our little direct drive for the clutch, and it actually looks pretty clean. But as I said, we're going to change this out, and this is a 10mm. So if I get a 10mm on a ratchet, I can find what I've done with it. Is that 10mm? No, that's an 8. We'll get a 10mm on there. That's a 10mm right directly in front of me. So I'm getting old and senile. We're going to need something to stop it from spinning. Easier said than done. I'll get the gun on it. Like so. A little bolt's out now. Try and pry this out. Try and use something thicker. Don't try and do it on the thin bit. Right, so this little clutch here, apparently they're tapered, so it should pop off like so. Then this is our new unit, all for £6. So what I'm going to do is give this a bit of a spray in here, clean it up a bit. It's not all that dirty, I just had a bit in my face. A paintbrush. just to clean it out. Then we've got our clutch bell, and if you have a look in there, you may be able to see that it's not quite been catching. I don't know why that is, but I'm just going to get a bit of Scotch-Brite and try and give it a more cleaner surface. It hasn't damaged anything in there, it's still pretty clean. It looks all right. Give it a bit of a clean out. Get some Scotch-Brite on there. Try and clean this area up a little bit, and it should be ready to stick the new clutch in. Right, so I give this a bit of a clean up inside here. Try to get rid of the places where it didn't look all that even. I put some brake and clutch cleaner in, so it's going to be time to fit our new clutch, and hopefully it does what it says on the tin and gives it a bit more grip and go. So we know that the spring face is at the front. This is a tapered spline here, so that's going to go in there. I'm just going to tap it on a touch. Use the 10mm that we got. Make it a little bit harder on there. Do a cheeky little spray out and get our bolt back in. Now I don't know if the Chinese do torque settings, but this is just going to be tight by the gun. That tight. We're going to put some new grease in here, because I don't know what grease they use, but no doubt it ain't going to be the best. So we're going to be using a bit of Comma Molly grease. Just going to douse that round here. Their grease, it's clear, it looks like silicone. Just going to lube the chain up. Hopefully that'll keep things nice and smooth and lubricated. And as I said, these are pretty much a throwaway engine. They're only 50 quid brand new, but I don't want to be telling my kids a bike's broke halfway through a Taz round the field when I can just do a little bit of maintenance in the meantime. Don't stick too much on, but it's definitely more than what came from new anyway, so that should lube that up a little bit. Alright, so we're going to try and put our chain back on. Shouldn't be too hard. So the chain goes on there. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't. I'm just going to put one of these longer bolts in, just to keep it sort of situated, because we need to put the Allen key back through here. It'll line up. I put the 10mm bolt, 10mm nut, sorry, on the back. Using this, it's a little extension, so it'll go through the back. It'll come round here and then feed it through the back of the bike. And try and screw it on. It just fell off, just my luck. I was in the chase, caught a flat on road. It was all love, X no O. I was feeling rich, but we turned out road. North Pole, life so cold. Lukewarm love. Just screwing that in there. Starting to get tight. We'll take our Allen key. I guess we was reaping what we sowed. I guess we was unequally yoked. Guess if we was putting on the shoulder. Guess we should have tried to take it. Tighten it back up.
Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel.
We don't want to over tighten it. Still leave it a little bit loose because we want to line all these bolts and stuff back up.
It was back in late December when I did it. I just wish I could forget it.
So that can come out now. The little cover can go back on. Almost forgot. Put this little, pull this off a sec. I won't allow me to. I nearly forgot to put the bearing back in. There's that little bearing went on here. Or was it there? Did it fit on there? How it goes in there, look. Put a little bit of grease around the bearing. Mind you, it doesn't need it. Let's just sand it. And start buttoning up all these bolts, etc. I think the majority of them are about the same size. You can't really go wrong. It's quite a long one. That one will go in there. Shorter ones are everywhere else. It's quite a long one that can go in there. And these are all the little guard ones. You've got another long one that's going to go through there. I'm just going to tighten it all up. Back to an 8mm. And they're all tight, so we're going to go around the back now. We're going to tighten that last 10mm up, and then put our Allen key at the front, the chain guard, and like so. And I think while we're at it, we're just going to grease up the chain. Have it, little review on the Chinese mini motocross bike, the Renegade 50R, and we fitted a race clutch. There's probably not a lot wrong with the clutch that was on there, but when we stripped it down, which we've shown you in this video, we could see that there was a little bit of uneven wear around the bell what the clutch bites onto. So that cleaned up, new race clutch fitted. I've never done this before, this is my first rodeo with one of these. But it wasn't all too difficult, and you could see the tools we used, just a normal metric socket set and some Allen keys. So hopefully she plays tickety boo. We'll fire her up, try and bed the clutch in properly, because the boys probably didn't do it properly the first time, which they were just eager to get on it and razz it around the field. And let's see how she goes, see if this £6 race clutch is all it's made out to be. Ignition on, fuel on, hopefully she pulls. Needed a bit of juice. Let's warm it up a little bit and then see how she rides. Yeah, that's starting to feel much better already. Winning. Yeah, it seems to ride again like new. It does pick up a little bit better now we've put the new race clutch in. I don't know if it is a race clutch. It's not exactly the sort of race clutch that I usually deal with, but it is what it is. What do you expect for £6? But if it works, and I can't really grumble. It's all ready now. I've adjusted the brakes and bits and bobs. Like, it's just sorting the cables out, which is super easy to do, and the boys should be ready to blast off around the field for the weekend, and that'll be super fun for them. These are a wicked little bit of kit. Please tell me your experiences if you have gone down the road of bought a Chinese one before you buy an actual expensive one like a Honda, a Yamaha or whatnot. I used to do motocross when I was a kid, so for my boys to ask me to get them a dirt bike, it was sort of like a nostalgia trip and a bit of a blast from the past. But I'm going to insert a couple of little videos of them blasting around before we strip this down, and hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Adios. Go Reggie.